Very few games grant themselves a huge deal of staying power, but in recent years, the wonderful world of esports has given us quite a few universally known titles. Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Dota 2, but one game seems to have a completely different community from the rest. A game tens of thousands are still constantly playing in 2021. Made by a company that struggles with its community, is coated in toxicity, with millions of dollars of prize pools, and best of all, it's completely free. No, not that one. Rocket League is a high-powered hybrid of arcade-style soccer and it's car soccer, and it's fun as hell. Rocket League is a fast-paced competitive soccer game, but instead of pressing A bunch of times to watch your favorite soccer players run back and forth across the field, you press A bunch of times hoping that you'll somehow accidentally hit a ball 3 times your size into a big rectangle to create an explosion powerful enough to level a city. Racing rocket-powered RC cars through an enclosed stadium while colored beans cheer you on from the sidelines might feel like a fever dream, but it results in a multiplayer experience unmatched by anything else. Every interaction with the ball, with other players, even just moving your car around is a learning experience and is constantly engaging, with no 2 matches ever going the same, and no 2 opponents ever playing the same. Each match keeps you on the edge of your seat, unless you get the occasional pub stomp, in which case, flip your car upside down and make the funny spin turtle hee hee. Rocket League's gameplay is unique in just about every way. The only game similar being its own lesser-known prequel, Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. Say that 10 times fast. Driving around with an RC car is super responsive and intuitive, with most people being able to pick up the basic controls with ease. You drive, reverse, turn, jump, and boost, and those are more than enough to get you around. There are more advanced controls like power sliding and air rolling, but they aren't at all necessary for entry-level play. Each team, consisting of 1 to 4 people depending on the game mode, has one objective: hit the ball in the other team's net, whatever it takes. The ball itself is bouncy, so common early tactics are to hit it up to the walls where newer players aren't as comfortable yet, until eventually reaching high-skill matches where being on the ground only takes up about 1% of a match. Each game is timed at 5 minutes, but with goals and replays included, most matches end up closer to 7 or 8. Occasionally, you may head into an overtime that really can last any amount of time, my own record being 17 minutes, but they're mostly privy to player fatigue and mistakes leading to a quick victory for one side. These short game times and pick-up and play style is super fitting for casual and competitive players alike, with a grind only being necessary for those who care about leaderboards. For those of us with that competitive edge, there is a truly infinite skill ceiling. The limitations of Rocket League systems are constantly open to new, ridiculous maneuvers that take dozens of hours to pull off with any sort of consistency, and there are always players above your skill level to work towards beating. Being an online game, networking is obviously very important, and I very rarely ever experience connection issues, if at all, but to people that are running on slower connections, I would keep potential issues in mind, especially those limited to Wi-Fi. Luckily, the game is completely free, so it doesn't cost anything but a bit of time to test out. The game also hosts a robust series of graphics options on the PC, and is on all console platforms including the Nintendo Switch, so platform really isn't an issue. As you play, customization becomes the name of the game, with blueprints unlocking tons of paint jobs, toppers, custom wheels, boost trails, and even goal explosions to help you set yourself apart from the crowd. As Rocket League has gone free-to-play, there are of course microtransactions, but cosmetics hold absolutely no bearing on gameplay, so you needn't worry if you don't want to pay a penny. Rocket League's UI is fairly uncluttered and easy to navigate, with all of your options being very obvious. There are a great deal of options available, including audio, interface controls, a huge swath of gameplay and control options, as well as a few accessibility features like a colorblind mode, forcing original high contrast team colors, and adjusting sizing and timing of text. I will note that this game does have a great deal of flashing colors though, so those of you who are photosensitive, do stay cautious. There aren't any accessibility options for the more severely visually impaired as well, so keep that in mind if this is something you're interested in experiencing. In-game, the UI is as simple as showing the score at the top and your boost in the bottom right, with no clusters of unnecessary information taking up valuable real estate. You can bring up an optional scoreboard to view an arbitrary point system if you want to feel better than your teammate, or blame them for ball hogging, but none of the arbitrary info takes up any space without you explicitly bringing it up. During score replays, there can be quite a bit of info that comes up all at once, but it is completely separated from gameplay and a break from the general adrenaline, so I personally don't find it to be too annoying. One really great thing about Rocket League is that it's entirely playable with keyboard and button controls, meaning that people without controllers or those using accessibility controllers can easily bind everything you need to whatever controls you like without any real limitations. I'm about 800 hours into playing, and I very rarely find times where I need analog controls except maybe using my camera, but it should be noted that there are esports level players that play with keyboard and mouse, so analog controls really aren't required even at the highest levels of play. Rocket League, being a huge esports title, has garnered a massive following that isn't entirely toxic. There are teams, private coaches, thousands of memes, and a healthy group of amazing content creators that have really made Rocket League a place where people can get together and build a truly remarkable community. There are always going to be toxic people who just want to shout and cry all day about losing, but for the most part people are just playing to have fun, and it's more than easy to start queuing up with people and having a great time making new friends and enemies throughout an evening. Casually noodling about with a friend or getting your competitive blood pumping, there are always other people who are willing to meet you at your level, and there's always a huge number of other fans to interact with in a million different ways. However, none of this would be possible without the wonderful company that is Psyonix and our new grand overlords. When Epic Games purchased Psyonix, everyone felt the shift right away. Rocket League going free-to-play was going to bring brand deals and ads, of course, but Epic Games took the extra anti-consumer step of removing the game from Steam, forcing everyone on all platforms, including consoles, to make Epic Games accounts, all while throwing monetization and microtransactions in our faces. Epic seems to be under this grand illusion that if they completely alienate anything they're associated with from the platforms everyone is already used to, people will flock to them instead. But it sucks. The practice really sucks, and I'm not going to say it's great to try and get Rocket League set up specifically for this reason. It's an unnecessary hurdle to an otherwise seamless experience, and I hope Epic stops its nonsense soon. All in all, Rocket League is a fantastic competitive experience that I think is accessible and fun even to people like myself who are usually far more interested in single-player experiences. Without intense violence or Twitch controls and great accessibility options, just about anyone can easily pick up and play what I believe is one of, if not the best modern esports title, despite Epic Games' narcissism. Thank you for watching. This is a bit of an experiment, trying these sort of short-form, matter-of-fact reviews rather than my longer thought pieces and everything. If you do like this style of review and want to see more of them, especially more often than I usually upload, let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, please like this video, share it with your friends if you enjoyed it and want to get them into Rocket League. Subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff. But other than that, have a great day. Thank you.